I'd like to please ask the Prime Minister to come up and say a few words.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mrs. Nasreen Mahmood Kasuri, Chairperson, Beacon House School System. Mr. Khurshid Mahmood Kasuri, Chairman, BPS. Mr. Qasim Kasuri, Chief Executive, Beacon House School System. Mrs. Ruhi Haq, Director of Studies. Mr. Shahid Bhatt, Director, Administration. Mr. Jens Zimmerman, Director, Beacon House. Teachers, delegates group, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is indeed an honor for me to be invited to this international educational conference titled School of Tomorrow, Freedom to Learn, which I have been informed is a sequel to the conference held in 2005, titled Towards 2035, the School of Tomorrow. Beacon House has taken upon itself an extremely enterprising venture of bringing together scholars, educationists, classroom practitioners, policy makers, and experienced professionals from all over the world to reassess conventional beliefs of what constitutes good and progressive teaching. This is, I'm confident, would help change the learning experiences of children studying not only at private schools, but in schools at every level, including those in the state sector. All of us are aware of the fact that this is an era of technological revolution and scientific achievement. No nation can aspire to reach glory and achieve economic development without making education its top priority. The secret to the phenomenal successes of the developed nations lies in their attainment of high literacy rates and productive human resource development. Ladies and gentlemen, our government is deeply conscious of the fact that education is a critical aspect of investment upon which we place great importance. As our children learn to read and write, the knowledge that they gain will stay with them for life. Talents, skills, and the ability to think critically will help our students to achieve their dreams and their aspirations. Through education, we can establish a modern and developed country. Education paves the way for us to instill a spirit of ethical behavior and tolerance and peaceful coexistence. It also inculcates respect for human rights and democracy. Quality education prepares students for a bright future. Education allows students to learn discipline and absorb the concepts of responsibility, teamwork, dedication, and sincerity in accordance with the high ideals envisioned by the father of the nation, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Distinguished audience, our government is committed to the Quaid's vision. Our government aims at strengthening an educational system that provides opportunities for all students regardless of their socio-economic background. This can only be achieved if we are able to build on our successes by mobilizing and engaging not just teachers and parents, but the whole community. This government wants for our young people the biggest expansion in educational opportunity our country has ever seen. If we are to take our rightful place in the Community of Nations, by education and raise the aspirations of the youth and empower them to contribute positively to the society and the world at large, we need to invest heavily in it. Our National Education Policy 2009 marks a turning point in responding to the challenges faced in the field of education by our nation. The policy is a diverse mix of wide-ranging consultations and pooling of the ideas from both public and private educational sectors. Our next steps in reference for these reforms are an increased investment in our schools, delivering for the many and not just the few, assuring parents of high-quality schooling for their children, following the practice of the best educational system around the world, offering education that is not just universal, but also personal to every child, education that is tuned with the aspirations of the world of tomorrow. Dear participants, I believe that no revolution can be made in the educational culture unless we promote a practice of research, analysis, critical inquiry, and creative thinking in our educational institutions. That, I believe, is in line with the theme of this conference, freedom to learn. And for organizing such a conference, I would like to compliment the Beacon House school system. The world today is focusing its energy in educational reforms. And this is where I see a significant role of Beacon House and other schools in strengthening Pakistan. It gives me great pleasure to note that since 1975, Beacon House has risen from being a private institution to become a national asset. Beacon House has been described by the World Bank in the mid-90s as the largest school system of its kind in the world. And today it has become a major force in the international educational spectrum. I'm told that Beacon House has a presence of 9 countries outside Pakistan and is providing distinctive and meaningful education to over 193,000 students from preschool to post-graduation. Of these, 82,000 study at Beacon House, while the remaining students are largely enrolled at the educators, a parallel school network operated by the group providing us standardized quality of education to a different socio-economic target market than at a much reduced fee. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to note that Beacon House is fully conscious of its corporate social responsibility and has for this purpose established the Beacon House National University, which is Pakistan's first liberal arts university on the not-for-profit basis under the Beacon House National University Foundation. The group has donated around 60 crore rupees to BNU, while the provincial government and the other donors have also contributed generously in this connection. I am also pleased to note that Beacon House has always contributed liberally whenever the situation so demanded, whether it be after the 2005 earthquake or in the wake of the internally displaced people or after the recent floods. It is also laudable to note that Beacon House is offering thousands of scholarships under varying categories. It gives me immense pleasure to note the Beacon House has been a progressive organization and has been a pioneer in terms of many educational initiatives to include student-centered learning, curriculum research and development, integration of emerging technologies across the curriculum, respected audience. I firmly believe that the quality of a school system rests on the quality of its teachers. Beacon House, I have learned, has institutionalized in-service teachers training, and more than half of its teachers have internationally recognized teaching certificates. I expect the conference would explore various models of teacher education. It is because of this that Beacon House students have been producing outstanding results both in O and A level as well as local board examinations. Their students have been topping the Cambridge International Examination, CIE, High Advisors List with top positions in their respective region, country, and even the world. I've been told that the School of Tomorrow, Freedom to Learn Conference, is questioning traditional forms of education, which were at one time the requirement of an emerging free market society, but are now regarded as chains tying down the young. The purpose of schooling and education is no longer limited to the structured learning of the facts deemed necessary for progress and success in the real world. When allowed the freedom to learn what they choose, students display a high degree of creativity and independent thought. They are flexible in their thinking, are confident in their ability to make decisions, and above all, feel responsible for their own lives as well as for their own communities. In order, therefore, to provide pupils the freedom to learn, it is imperative to change current ways of teaching and learning and explore more progressive ways of improving education. This will better equip our students for the future. These changes, however, in teaching methodologies cannot be brought about without strategic leadership and teacher education. The themes are being explored at the conference. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to find out the School of Tomorrow, Freedom to Learn Conference, encompasses a special message of hope and support for the flood victims. Conference attendees will explore ways to re-establish educational opportunities in the flood-affected areas, bringing light to the future of Pakistan. To survive in a challenging world like ours, we need to focus on change and progress and the fostering of the independent thought. The future of this world is in the hands of our young, and only education is capable of providing them with the necessary light so that they can chart their way to a more meaningful life. When the Holy Quran was revealed, the first word of the first verse was Iqra, which means read. According to the well-known hadith, Sahih Bukhari, without education, man is though in a closed room, and with education he finds himself in a room with all its windows open towards the outside world. No wonder Islam attaches such great importance to knowledge and education. Ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, I will draw the speech to its conclusion by quoting from Quaid-e-Azam's historical words, "Without education, it is complete darkness, and with education, it is light." Education is a matter of life and death to our nation. The world is moving so fast that if you do not educate yourselves, you will be not only completely left behind, but will be finished up. The Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, had enjoined his followers to go even to China in the pursuit of knowledge. If that was the commandment in those days when communications were difficult, then truly Muslims are the true followers of the glorious heritage of Islam, should surely utilize all available opportunities. No sacrifice of time or personal comfort should be regarded too great for the advancement of the cause of education. Once again, Mr. and Mrs. Kasuri, Ladies and gentlemen, I congratulate you all on taking this bold step to hold an international conference of this magnitude, and I wish you all the success in this connection. Pakistan, Paindabad.